Hey, before we jump into the message this morning, I want to share with you an update. Sometimes there are things, plans, decisions, kind of things that we work on that are sort of like behind the scenes. And it's not out of like wanting to be secretive. It's just one of those things that sometimes there's not much to say about things. Until there's something to say about things, right? But it's also good sometimes to just kind of let you in on little bits that are happening, even if it's just little tiny updates and stuff. And so that's what I want to share with you this morning. You may have noticed that at times, man, this room gets really full, and you really notice probably that the parking lot gets very full, and even the line at the bathroom sometimes get real long and things like that. We are finding more and more that there are times and places that we are really kind of being squeezed, and we are happy to be squeezed because that means that more and more people are getting connected here at SCC and are coming to hear the good news of Jesus through the great things that God is doing through so many different things. And so with that in mind, and also not only that, but there's a bunch of kids playing in the dirt across the street, right? And building some houses very soon. In fact, from what I've heard, there could be upwards of 800 homes going across the street. And as much as that saddens me that there is so much growth in that way, we also know that that's more opportunities to share the gospel of Jesus. And so we're excited about that. So with all those different things in mind and things happening, a couple months ago, the elders, we began to start talking about what do we need to do as we look ahead, as we can maybe not necessarily do anything, but how can we begin to prepare and start having conversations. And so we called up an organization and we entered into a contract with an organization called Church Development Services, CDS for short. And they are basically a design build firm just for churches. They're based out of Virginia Beach, and they came out about a month ago. Their president and walked the property with us, had some conversations with the leaders, and we talked about a bunch of stuff. And it gave them a chance to sort of share how they could help us out through basically like feasibility studies and helping us to kind of start the groundwork of figuring out what even can we do, what even should we do, and all that stuff. So that's kind of where we are right now with that process. We are really kind of exploring and trying to discover what needs to be done and how things could be done. And so right now, there's not a whole lot going on with that. But as things begin to kind of unfold and stuff like that, we'll definitely keep you in the loop. But I want to tell you a quick story about that I think is really awesome and inspiring, how God uses people to make big things happen. So we met with this guy. Their president's name is Glenn. Glenn came here. We had a conversation, met for a couple hours. And then, of course, there's always a price tag involved with everything, right? So we kind of just finally said, all right, Glenn, so what will it cost for us to partner with you? And he said, well, it's going to be about $20,000 for this partnership for about 6 months, where we come in and help you. And then he even continues on there, but the work is right there. And it's like, okay, well, we don't really have like 20 grand just sitting around in the bank, so we were thinking through how are we going to raise this and how we do that. And the awesome thing was we just kind of let it sit for a few days. That very next Sunday, somebody walked through our doors, one of our wonderful people here this morning, and handed us a check for $25,000. And it was God basically confirming to us, saying, yep, let's keep on going, guys. Let's not stop. Let's keep on rolling with this. And I think it's an awesome thing, the way that God uses people in so many ways. Sometimes we think ministry is preaching a sermon or singing a song. Man, ministry happens in so many ways, and all of you are a part of that in so many different facets and different aspects. So that got me excited. It was fun to tell Glenn that story when I told him that we would be coming on board with them, and it's fun for me to be able to tell that story with you guys this morning. And I know God's going to have even more incredible things in store down the road as we just do our best to be faithful to Him and just follow His leading. So how awesome is that?